We won Texoma. It was a... All right, we're back after a long break. I suck at doing these. I don't get it. Like, at the beginning of the year, I'm so good about posting on YouTube. I do it like every other week. I get all these videos. I edit. I'm consistent at it, and then it goes to crap. And I'm sorry. I need to get better at this. So here we go. I'm gonna get better at it. I wanted to do each MLF Toyota Series event in a video, but I got lazy and didn't do it. So I'm going to do a video on my Toyota Series this year. Did 3 events. Southwestern Division. We fished Rayburn, Texoma, then back to Rayburn. And it was fun. Let's go over the first one. It was early in the year, which I love Rayburn earlier in the year. It's, it can be a couple of things. Offshore brush, cranking, ledge stuff, like that's usually how it's won. But if the grass is real good, you can, throw a trap in the grass, throw a chatterbait in the grass, swim bait, a lot of checks, a lot of top 10s are in the grass. So that's where my strength is, so that's where I went to. I went to the grass, and I practiced in it for like 4 days. And only had like 6 bites. I mean, the grass was terrible. I guess there was like, the Pro Circuit event was there a couple weeks before. Then they had this Brandon Belt tournament with a ton of boats that was there before. And I guess the pressure got to it. Or maybe there wasn't enough of it and the fish weren't in it. I don't really know. But I just couldn't make it happen in the grass with a trap or a chatterbait. I mean, I forced it. And I really believe that I could have done well in that event doing that. Maybe not win, but like a top 10, a check, maybe win. Like I was real confident doing that. And that's what you got to do in these tournaments. You got to go fish your strength and what you're confident at. And that's what I was doing. And it just never happened. So started scrambling the last couple of days of practice. And, I was jerk baiting kind of deeper grass that was just barely growing up on edges and stuff. And I was throwing this guy, Mega Bass 110, the best jerk bait ever. And I was throwing that, getting a lot of bites on it. And, it was a practice where I wasn't getting many bites, but ones I was getting were on that dude. So that was my starting lineup on that. And then I did something I'm not comfortable with, and I don't do it much, but you got to expand and learn. And I do a lot of people were catching fish in brush, so I was throwing this drop shot in brush piles. I'm not a master at that, but man, I thought I was doing pretty good. I caught a lot of fish on it in practice. Some 2s. I was I scan, you find them, mark them, turn around, go to your dot, and then I had the Humminbird 360 so I could see it and make an accurate cast, like every cast, get my bait in the brush, and I was catching fish, so I felt confident doing that. So those were the 2 baits I was going after Rayburn with, and first day I had a limit. I caught I think 4 fish on a jerkbait, and then I caught 1 on a drop shot out of brush, and that was it. It was like 10 pounds. It's way down the leaderboard because everyone else caught them. And so all right, day 2, tried a little bit different stuff. Tried, jerkbait, of course, caught like 4. And then we went and fished a lot of brush and just never got a bite. Came in with 4 fish. Ended up 141st. It was kind of a swift kick in the nuts. It sucked because to start off the year, your worst finish ever just wasn't. It sucked, man. I never felt like I got on anything in that tournament. It was one of the first times, not one of the first time, maybe the first time in a long time where I felt completely lost. It was one of those events like, usually in events you get little breadcrumbs to the pie and you figure out the pie. You figure out what you could have done to win or do good, or maybe you do it, or sometimes you don't, or you learn, but I just feel like I didn't learn anything. It's real weird to say that, but the only thing I think I could have done was a lot of guys were catching fish live scope, and I don't have that on my boat. I need to get it, and because a lot of people top 10 and 1 and cash checks a lot live scope and fish. So that was the deal for that tournament. I dropped the ball. It sucked, but Texoma really showed me that like you can be at the lowest of the low and get, up there to the highest of the high. And I won the thing. We won Texoma. It was a crazy event. It was really wild. Start with practice. We got there Saturday, midday, rigged up, went out for a couple hours. I think I caught one fish. So I was like, yeah, well, it's Texoma. You can have days where you don't catch anything, then you have days where you catch 20 pounds. I feel like that lake's like that. So Sunday I went out practicing and had a full day. I got like 3 bites, but they're 3 bites the stuff I wanted to do. I knew the fish were coming up to spawn, staging areas, and then, spawning areas. Got a couple of bites there. It's like, all right, it's breadcrumbs to the pie, right? And there was a high school tournament going on the next week. That was like 350 boats. So there's a lot of boats practicing for that. And then on top of that, during that Sunday of practice, there's a high school event. So there's like 500 high school boats on the water. So it was hard to get around and practice areas. Is what it is. So we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to practice. Monday was a real good day. We saw a bunch of sight fish. We caught some staging fish. We had like 20-something pounds that day. I mean, we had caught like 20 fish. It was unreal for Texoma. Like, unreal day. I was real happy about it. Next day, Tuesday, we expanded on it. Didn't get as many bites. Shook some off. Felt good about it. Wednesday practice, I shook some fish off, only like a couple, because I only got to fish for like 2 hours. My trolling motor died. I guess I didn't plug my boat in right or something. It just didn't. My batteries were shot, so I just got off the water at like 10. Only fished a couple hours, and that was it. That was practice. Felt good about it. Had areas. Drew an early boat number. I was like 32. I was like, get to my sight fish first. Thursday morning, great. And then we looked at the forecast, and it was gonna be windy, like 30 to 40 miles per hour out of the north, which is, that lake can get bumping. It can be real dangerous. So they called it. They said day 1 canceled due to wind. So we hung out that day, and then that night, boom, we get another text for Friday, canceled due to wind. So boom, 2 days canceled. Then we got word there's going to be a 1-day shootout on Saturday, which has never been done before. Mentally, I was cool with it. I was like, 1 day, a lot of areas that I was going to go to catch fish. Really didn't want to go. A couple of rods that I had out to maybe get a bite. Got to leave in the box. Just going big. That's how most tournaments that I fish, growing through fishing, 1-day bass champs, 1-day tournaments at Amstead where you just need 5 big ones, So I was kind of, excited about that. But another deal that we were all dealt with was there's a high school tournament going on. There's like 350 boats plus us, which is like 180. So there's a ton of boats on the water. I knew people were gonna, run into each other because that lake's big, but it fishes small. There's only, a few areas that you can fish on that lake. There's a lot of dead water, so I knew we were gonna run into high school kids all day. But I knew that everyone was dealt that card. You had to be mentally prepared and mentally strong for that. You just had to accept it, know it was gonna happen, and go. I was a little disappointed in my boat number. The first, with 3-day tournament, I was cool with it. I get to my sight fish first, only 31 guys in front of me, boom. But the 1-day deal, yeah, I get to my fish first, but there's a high school tournament that went out an hour early that are already on them. So it's kind of like that early boat draw does nothing for you. And it was a 1-day. I got to check in at 3:45, and guys in the later flights get to check in at 5:30, 5:15, stuff like that. So I was like, wish it would have gone the other way, but that's the way she rolled out for me, so I had to deal with it. Blasted off that morning, went to my first spot, covered up in boats. I didn't catch a fish until 11:30. I made a move around 11, got to another spot around 11:30, and I catch my first fish. It was like a 3-pounder on this spinnerbait. I caught a lot of good fish on that in practice that were staging to go spawn. Dirty water, hence the big blade, orange, the rubber skirt. I just think it's kind of a cool deal to do with spinnerbait. And of course, I had a Hayabusa trailer hook on. So boom, I got my first fish on that, 3-pounder, good fish. So we started getting some momentum. This guy that's fishing this area, there's a lot of stuff to fish. There's boats, there's a few boats around, but not many. We got in a rotation and saw a couple people catch fish. All right, cool. Everyone's getting bites. I didn't catch another fish. I was there 2 hours. I was there till like 1:30. It's like, all right, got to make a move. So we're leaving that area, and I look, and there's this boat ramp with some riprap, and I was like, man, I got bit on the square bill. This guy, I got bit on a lot of rock of that in practice. So I was like, let's go hit it real quick. There's always fish around boat ramps, always fish around riprap. Let's go bang out a couple of keepers or something. So went through on that riprap, nothing. I was like, dang it. So it kind of led up to a dock. So like, man, I'll fish this dock on the way out. It was shallow. You know, it was good boat slips. I like the foam boat slips. You know, better than the plastic ones. I don't know why. Like, it's kind of a shat spawn deal. Like, some algae will grow around the foam a lot better than the plastic. And, you know, I think bait fish just key to that a little more, so fish do. So that's why I kind of like it. So it led up to that. Made a couple of flips with a jig. You know, skipped it under. Got into that boat dock, and boom, I catch a 6'11". It was awesome. I mean, just a good hit. I stuck it, and just 2 big head shakes. I was like, sweet, big one. Cranked her in, boat flipped it, big one. I was like, oh my God. And on Texoma, I know, like, big fish matter everywhere, hands down. But on Texoma, a 5+ is like gold. You know, there's not many of them. You know, you're lucky to get two of those in the tournament. Very lucky. So I got a 6'11", almost 7 pound in the boat. I'm jacked. It's like 1:30. I'm like, all right, we can't let this big one go to waste. You know, let's go make it happen. Let's go catch a limit. Let's go fill it out. I ran around for an hour. Look, just trying to get in a spot. I'd go to a pocket or somewhere where I caught fish. There'd be 8-9 boats in it. Went to another pocket, 8-9 boats in it. So I was getting frustrated with that. Finally found an area where I can kind of, you know, there's boats over here, but there's this open area where I could sneak in and then just kind of get in the rotation with everybody. So I did that. Caught a little 13-inch spot on that dude. Thought it was a keeper, wasn't. Threw it back. It was like 250. It's like, man, I got to make another move. We got to start heading back. We're doing it 345. I'm running back, and I was like, man, I had this pocket where I had some sight fish on Monday. And it was a big enough pocket and kind of not in a traditional area where fish are caught. So I ran there, no boats. I was like, maybe the buck's still there. Maybe a new one like moved up. Went and looked at those sight fish. Nothing. Damn. So I'm coming out of a little pocket. There's a point. I'm just flipping my jig. Flipped it on this point. 3-pounder. Sweet. I got, 11.5 pounds, something like that. Like I got a check. I know it was going to take like 11 to 12 pounds to get a check there. Like, so boom, I was like, sweet, I have a check on 3. I looked down, just 308. We got to leave at 325 to make it back in time. I was like, all right, I'll just keep going down this bank. Maybe there's another one. Went down the bank, nothing. Flipped under docks, skipped under docks, flip rock, all that. Didn't get anything. Looked down, just 325. Looked back at my co-angler. I'm like, hey, strap your stuff. Let's go. I make a flip under this boat dock walkway. Hop my jig. Nothing. Hop it again. Nothing. I'm done. Like, all right, let's go. I'm turning the boat and I'm reeling in, and a big one swirls on it and misses it. I look at my car. I'm like, holy shit, dude, that was a giant. That was like a 6-pounder. Flip right back in there. Boom. Set the hook. Get it in the boat. It's a 2.5, and it's a buck. It's like pissing everywhere. I throw it in the live well. I flip right back in there and boom, stuck it heavy. Reel it in. I'll never forget. Like the fish was like shaking its head super slow, then swam sideways, and then boat flipped it, grabbed her, hit the jig out, threw it in the box, and we hauled ass back, and we made it within 30 seconds. I was 30 seconds before being late, and it was rough too. I mean, it was, like I said, Texoma gets rough, and it was blowing pretty good out of the south. And I was going with the waves on the way in. I never stuffed one, but it got rough, man. It sucked. But we made it in time and weighed in early, weighed 21.13, and I didn't know I had that much. I thought I had like 18, 19 pounds, maybe high 19, something, because it was so, it all happened so fast, and then it was so long before looking at the fish, I really didn't know what I had. I never got to look at them all day. So, I had 21.13, got off stage. I was like, man, I could win this thing. But, I was, like I said, I was an early flight, so I was waiting on the other flights, and there were some hammers coming in, man, like guys that I fear in these things. So I was looking, I was like, this guy hasn't weighed in, crap. And, no one had a bigger bag than me, so we won the thing, man. It was wild. It was too cool. It was an awesome experience. You know, I've been guiding a long time. I've been doing these tournaments a while, and to win one, that thing means the world to me right there. You know, hopefully I can win another one, but I got one, and I'm so proud of it and happy, and the support that came with that is awesome. You know, like the whole drive home, people were calling, congratulating, happy for me. All the Facebook messages, Instagram messages, all the comments. You know, I went to bed that night, and I stayed up until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, I was so happy. I went to bed that night. I had 285 text messages of people congratulating me and proud of me, and that meant so much. I can't even express to you guys how much that means to me. You know, I didn't know that many people cared. So I mean, it was a total emotional, cool deal. I loved every minute of it, and that qualified me for the championship on Gunnersville. So we're going to the championship. Next tournament, we're back at Rayburn, and that time of year is fun too. Shad spawn, fish are still spawning. There's a bluegill spawn going on. I mean, it's fun. We caught a ton of fish. Practice was awesome. We caught like 30, 40 fish a day. Topwater, flipping, frogging, swims. Like, there's anything you wanted to do, you could go do and catch fish. So, of course, I stayed shallow. I threw a frog, flip, topwater. I got on a little shad spawn deal. I was throwing this around like a swim jig around the hay grass, and it was getting demolished. You see how jacked up it is, man. I mean, just tail's gone, weed guard's trashed. It was fun, you know. Have her spawn in the morning, and you'd see him rolling and schooling, and throw this thing by him, shake it, and it'd come unglued on it. And you know, same deal. Throw this deal by all the schooling fish, shad spawn deal, and they'd wolf it. I mean, I rolled my hooks in, and I'd have like 5 of them hitting it on the way back to the boat. It was just unreal. It was awesome. So I was really excited about that. And then what I was more excited about, what I got my big bites on in practice, was that dude, a little froggy, and flipping that guy. So these are like my 2 favorite things to do in the world: frog and flip. I got to go do them. So first day of the tournament, it's kind of late boat, like 106. I was like, dang it, probably all the shad spawn stuff I want to go to is going to be covered up in boats. And it was. So I went through and tried to bounce around to get on a good point and stuff like that. Found a point. Just never got anything. Just stayed there looking for them. Just never have. Saw dudes catching them all around me, and just that area just didn't have them. Sucked. I didn't catch a fish doing the shad spawn that day. So boom, we went straight to the bank. Started flipping bushes and frogging. I caught my limit pretty quick. I culled a few times. I caught a 4 on that dude. And had 12 and a half pounds the first day. Not bad. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad because the weights were so tight. Like, I was in 69th, but another pound would have jumped me up like 30 spots into the top 30. So, you know, I have a good bag day too. I'm in there. Well, the cool thing was, I drew my travel partner, Justin, for day 2 as my co-angler. And he had a decent first day. He caught 4. Still in it, just like me. And I already qualified for the championship, and Justin was like right there. He was like in 44th or something in standings, and he needs to be in the top 25 to make it. And I told him before the event, I was like, dude, you catch a limit both days, you're in the championship. So that was excited, and I knew he was going to get his limit. We roll out, go to shad spawn deal, lay down, boom, they're busting everywhere. I catch one, he catches one, and then I'm like, dude, throw up there, man. Like, get your limit. So he gets 4, I get another one, so I got 2 and he has 4. And it's like 9 o'clock. Sweet. Go flipping frog the rest of the day. We flipping frog, I get my limit, cull a couple of times, Justin still didn't have a fish. That happens throughout the day, and it's like, you know, it's like 2 o'clock, we got to go check in, and I started giving him, like, the good stuff. Like, I had a limit. I was like, dude, like, hit that pocket with the frog. It should be a big one. Hit that. You know, there's a stretch of laydowns in cypress tree. I'm like, dude, I'm not even flipping it. Like you flip it. I'll flip over here. And boom, he catches like a 5-pounder the last like 30 minutes. And so we're high-fiving, hugging. He, you know, made the championship probably. And we go in. He finishes 26th in the tournament, which is, you know, he's like 2 ounces from the cut. So he didn't get to fish the third day, which kind of sucked. But still, he got a check. He's stoked. And the tournament ends. I finished 62nd for the year. Justin fishes 28th. Or finishes 28th. So he's not in the championship right now. But, you know, if some co-anglers won, I think he's in. If somebody drops out, doesn't want to go, I think he's in. So hopefully that will happen. He'll get to go to Gunnersville. So it was a fun season. It was a cool learning deal. Like, just to be at the lowest of the low, you know, like that's the worst tournament finish I've ever had, 141st. Worst one I've ever had. And then the next tournament to win just shows you fishing is a bunch of this. You just got to ride it. You just got to go out every time and try your hardest. And every tournament was different because, like, the first one, never had a clue. I'll be honest. I never had a clue on what to do or to expand on a good bite. Just didn't happen. It sucked. Next one, I felt like I knew what was going on. Felt with confidence to go do what I needed to do and thought I could win, and I won. It was great. It worked out. This time at Rayburn, I felt the same thing. I knew what was going on. I had the techniques and places to go do it and make it work. And it just didn't. It worked for other guys around me. It worked for me in practice. It just didn't work out for me those 2 days of the tournament, which that's the way she goes sometimes. So, you know, with that one, I'm not upset about it because I really feel like it could have easily just gone the right way, you know, so. Great season. I'm going to fish one more event. Going to be on Champlain, but that's in August, so we got a long time between that. So hopefully I do more of these videos. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, leave comments. I think I need to turn that thing on. And I really don't know how to turn the comment deal on YouTube. I need to figure that out. But, you know, I appreciate everybody, all the phone calls and texts about that win and stuff. And hope you guys learned something in this video about tournament fishing. You know, just keep your head down. Just keep going. Fish every tournament you can. Enter a Thursday night or enter a jackpot. Enter as a co-angler. Just go fish tournament because that's where you learn and you build confidence. So, you know, until the next video, you guys take it easy. Peace.